So I'm on the actual show floor now, and this is in the Venetian Expo Center, and there's no way I can capture enough of this so that you get a sense for how big this is. Every time you think you've been to every part of this building, you find another part, and there are 2 floors above and 1 floor below, and there's another entire building in the Caesars Forum, or Caesars Plaza rather, and I have to take a bridge to get over there, and that's just as big as this part of the show that I'm in now. By the way, does anybody else think this looks like a Star Wars character? Some of you know that I'm a Sub 2000 fan, and check this out. This is the Sub 2000 Defender, and I'll get a close-up there so you can see all the accessories that it comes with. But at a glance, it's got a new butt pad. It's also got backup sights and an optic. This is a Gen 3, so it turns sideways when you rotate the fore end up, so it can still fold flat. Very cool and new from Kel-Tec. And then I turned around and saw this. This is the PLR 16 Defender, which is chambered for the 556 cartridge. This is in pistol configuration. It comes with an optic and a folding stock. How cool is that? Or I suppose that's actually a folding brace. Don't want to get my terminology mixed up. But that's another very innovative firearm from Kel-Tec. And I just walked into another one of the huge showrooms in the Venetian Expo. I am actually making my way toward Smith & Wesson's booth, I think. I want to get a closer look at some of those new revolvers that they've started to manufacture here recently. I still haven't made it to Smith & Wesson yet, but I was walking past the Pieta booth, and I am still a sucker for the Old West firearms. I've got a couple of Pieta revolvers at home. There are 2 of my black powder Remington New Model Army revolvers that are Pieta manufacture, and also my Cimarron Colt single action Army clone. And these are just gorgeous, and I wanted to take a minute to get a little bit of video of them. So I just checked my Pacer app, and after a little over a mile of walking, I have arrived at the Smith & Wesson booth. Now for my next trick, I'm going to track down those new revolvers and see if I can get a close-up look at them. So here is one that was announced just yesterday, I think, or the day before. This is the new Model 10. You can see there is no lock on the frame. It has the tapered barrel. It has the old style ejector rod. This is extremely cool, folks. Now there are a couple of modern touches. You can see the MIM trigger right there. And I don't know if I can open the cylinder. But otherwise, I would imagine that's a MIM hammer as well, but I would have to disassemble the revolver in order to determine that for sure, and I suspect that would be frowned upon. It took a while, but I did manage to find that new Model 36. Unfortunately, this is right above the do not handle sign, so I can't pull it off the wall and take a closer look at it. But let's see if I can focus this a little better for all of you. There we go. It also is sans lock, as you can see there, and it looks a lot like the older Model 36 revolvers out there. I don't think they have one of the Model 19s here, and that's too bad. I wanted to get a close-up look at one of those as well. But I am going to check on one other thing, and I'll be back in just a moment. And so I'm back with one more look at the Model 10, and what I just checked on was a rumor that seems to be circulating out there that Smith & Wesson is going to delete all the locks from the entire revolver line. And according to the gentleman I just spoke to off camera, even the folks at Smith & Wesson don't know for sure whether or not that's going to happen, or if it's only going to be certain revolvers. So keep that in mind if you hear that rumor. Folks, it's our new president himself modeling a new camo line of clothing, or at least a mannequin version of him. This looks a little bit like Terminator Donald Trump when I look at it. Still, cool enough for the show. This is Kevin from Darkstorm Industries to tell you about one of the rifles that's brand new from them.
What's happening, everybody? I am Kevin. I am from Darkstorm Industries. This year for 2025, we have our MFR, our modern fighting rifle, completely battle-driven, battle-ready rifle. We really threw the whole kitchen sink at this firearm. It is a full ambi gun, so you got an ambi bolt stop as well as catch. You have ambi magazine release, ambi safety, ambi charging handle. We're doing it in a 1-9 carbine or a 1-7 mid-length. Very robust pin gas block. Handguard runs all the way out, 16-inch barrel with a 15 3/4-inch handguard. We left these recesses here. It comes with a little bit of a sticker pack for some grip tape that you can put in there from Hand-to-It Grips. The whole gun is anodized in the clear, then coated with the Gen 2 non-IR reflective Cerakote. So under night vision, it's inherently invisible because you can't, not invisible, but it doesn't reflect back like a regular anodized do. Magpul SL stock, Magpul K grip. Armor Lube DLC coated BCG dual ejector bolt. So if you're looking for a price point battle ready rifle, this comes in at about $16.99. We really tried to give it everything we got and keep the price low for the public. So,
well, thank you very much, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
EAA always manages to have one of the most dynamic booths at any show wherever I see them. Let's see if I can find a couple of products that might match the display. And right off the bat, I spotted a EAA/Gerson tactical 9mm pistol that has the extended threaded barrel, the camouflage Cerakote, and it is optics ready. So that's cool right out of the gates. And here is a gorgeous Gerson Regard that is all set up to satisfy your inner third world dictator. And last but not least, in the EAA booth is one of the lightweight, compact P35 pistols that I have been trying to get for a while. This is the Ops version of this handgun, and it would make a pretty nice little carry package if you're comfortable with the single action semi-auto. So I'm in the Cimarron booth, obviously, and I'm looking at all of their gorgeous single action revolvers, and there's one of them that caught my attention, and it's right there. This is a replica of Teddy Roosevelt's revolver. You can see TR's initials in the grip to make that a little bit bigger for you. And as we go down the length of the revolver, you can see the fine engraving.
Right out of the box.
That is very, very nice. And I would love to take that one home, but something tells me I would get in trouble if I break the glass, grab the revolver, and try to run out of this building. I just saw this yesterday at the Discovery Op booth, and if you folks remember when I reviewed the Discovery Op scope, I talked about the attachment method for the elevation and windage turret, and they have changed the design from what they had before, and I don't know if this comes from my video or not, but now instead of the screw that went in from the top and the side to secure the turrets, now this is actually finger turnable, if I can get it to go. And you can loosen this up, remove the turret, turn it to reset your zero, put it back down on, and then tighten this back down again, all with no tools whatsoever. This might be now the best attachment method I have ever seen for scope turrets to make them easily resettable to zero. And they also showed me that there is a new zero stop inside. So again, I don't know if that came from anything I said in the video review or not. They didn't say that yesterday, but that's something that I think is very innovative and long overdue. Every once in a while you come across something here that is just a work of art. Check out this flintlock with target sights, no less, half octagon, half round barrel with the hooded front sight. This is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that wood. This is another firearm that I am absolutely in love with. Hey gang, I'm just getting started on day 2 at the SHOT Show, and I'm in the new product center, and oddly enough, at this time it's only open to members of the media, which shockingly seems to include me nowadays. So I'm now in the basement at the Venetian Expo Center, and in a lot of ways the basement is a little more exciting than the main exhibit hall upstairs, or I should say exhibit halls upstairs, because a lot of the manufacturers down here are the smaller, new and up-and-coming manufacturers with brand new and a lot of times very innovative products. A lot of the people that I work with are down here. I just left the Olight booth. In fact, you can see it over there in the distance. And I'm going to look around down here a little bit more. So this is just what I was talking about. This is Warrior Land, which is a brand that I've never heard of before. And they have a variety of different holsters here, including this model in OD green, of course, that fits over 100 different handguns. So how good would that be if you're somebody like me with a bunch of different handguns to have one holster that would fit a wide variety of them? I'm going to see if I can get one of these in for a review because I think that would be extremely handy. I was just walking by the Rise Armament booth and I saw some triggers there, and it reminded me that I put a Rise trigger in one of my ARs not all that long ago. You might recall the video. And we were talking about a new trigger that's just been released, and this is Calvin from Rise Armament, and he's going to tell you about their new AR trigger.
Absolutely. Howard, thanks for stopping by, man. Nice to meet you. So what I've got here is our new RA100 two-stage component trigger. So if you know anything about Rise Armament, all the triggers that we've had before are the drop-in cassette style triggers. So coming out with a new two-stage component trigger allows us to kind of enter that market there. So this is a 4.5-pound two-stage trigger. It's got a 2-pound first stage and a 2.5-pound second stage. This is made from S7 tool steel and salt bath nitrided, so it's incredibly durable and reliable. And basically wanted this to be the automatic upgrade over a mil-spec trigger. It's much more durable, much more reliable, and you're getting great performance upgrades. A really smooth first stage with a nice break, and then a really nice reset. And we're going to MSRP this product at $109.99, so a really, really nice price point. So an easy decision to make when you want to upgrade especially your mil-spec trigger. So we'll be dropping these in spring 2025. We'll have more information coming soon. We're looking forward to showing this off to you guys.
And I'm looking forward to trying one out. Hopefully we're going to have one in the near future. I can show you on the channel. I'll install it in one of my rifles, and I'll let you know what I think. Thanks a lot, Calvin. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm back upstairs and in the Canik booth, and in front of me are the new Canik Mete MC9L and the MC9LS. I've not fired either one of these yet. If you saw my review from a year ago or so, you know the original MC9 and I didn't get along quite as well as I have with other Canik products, but maybe if I can get one of these in to try pretty soon, we can find out whether or not I'm going to have a different opinion of either one of them. Everyone, this is Mark from DS Arms with a brand new rifle that they're going to be marketing, and this comes about as a result of one of the videos that I made a while back while I was talking about the history of the FOW, and I'm just going to hand the microphone off to Mark and he can tell you all about it.
Hi there, my name is Mark from DS Arms, and this is our T48 rifle that we're making for H&R. It is the H&R pattern of the T48, which went up against the M14 during the trials for the rifle to replace the M1 Garand. That rifle was called the T44, this is a T48, and we have painstakingly recaptured all the features that make this rifle unique to a regular FAL and to really replicate the original trials rifle, from the forward assisting charging out to the stripper clip top cover to the folding trigger guard. Every detail and marking has been replicated. It's a very interesting story, especially since we did adopt the M14 and not the FAL, but it makes a lot of people think of what would have happened if we would have took this rifle instead of the M14.
So I'm in the Magpul booth and I'm thinking, you know, I might just have a use for this bag with a firearm that looks a whole lot like that one. Also in the Magpul booth is a new OD green frame for the Ruger RXM, and I've got to say I like the green better than I like the gray that came on the pistol from the factory, so I might have to look into getting one of these. If I get one, I'm sure I'll make a video showing the transition of the internal fire control unit from the old frame to the new one. So I'm at the Walther booth, And I mentioned this in a live stream recently. This is the new Walther PP, older brother to the PPK. And in some ways, maybe a little more graceful than the PPK with a slightly longer barrel. And I didn't realize it, but it's also being built in a blued version, which is not going to show up real well on camera. These are both very nice, and I wanted to be sure to get a look at them while I was here. And on the other side of the case is the PPK-S Tactical with the threaded barrel. I'm not a big suppressor person, so the tactical barrel doesn't do a whole lot for me, but some of you might be interested in it. So I wanted to be sure to give you a look at this one as well. So check this out, gang. This is a full auto M1 carbine BB gun. And there are the specs on it. That's just pretty cool for everyone who ever wanted their own .30 carbine. There it is. It looks and feels the part. It's a little light, but otherwise, I think that might be a lot of fun. As you can see, I am in the Colt booth with one of my dream revolvers from when I was a kid. This is the legendary Colt Python. This is the blued 4-inch version that you see here. And right next to it is the polished stainless version. These are both beautiful revolvers, and I think that's the best Colt double action trigger pull that I've ever felt. That feels tremendous. A lot of you know what an IWI fan I am, and there are two new versions of my Masada 9S, which is my everyday carry, here in front of me. This one is a new poly frame that has a little bit more and a little bit coarser texturing. Also, there is the front equipment rail that's been added to this frame, and a magazine well and cutout to remove a stuck magazine here at the bottom. And to my right is another 9S or Masada Slim that has an aluminum frame that's available on the IWI website. And the nice thing about both of these frames is if you have an original Masada Slim like I do, since it is a chassis system, you can swap out the internal chassis for either one of these new frames if you like in just a few minutes. And there's an instructional video on the IWI website to show you just how to do that. Everyone, this is Jason with Lipsies, and he has one of their brand new, or maybe I should say reissued, Smith & Wesson Model 686 mountain guns. This is another one of those revolvers that I was dying to get back in the day. And as you can see, there's no lock, and it also has the other features of the mountain gun, specifically the tapered barrel that you can see there. And I'm going to turn it over to Jason, and he can tell you a lot more about this than I'm going to be able to.
Hey everybody, yeah, this is the 686 Plus, so it's a 7-shot L-frame 357 Magnum. It's got the one-piece 4-inch tapered barrel. We have a solid pin pinned in front sight. It's a 125 width gold bead serrated modified patronage, so it really cuts the glare well, but you have something that has some visibility in low light. We paired it with a 140 solid black square notch rear sight, so you got plenty of window there for your sight alignment. We went with the flash chrome parts, so it's got the narrow smooth trigger and a narrow hammer like the original mountain guns. These flash chrome parts really take a nice little action job. This gun, since it's been dry fired a bunch the last 2 days here at the show, has really slicked up really nice. We also had Smith & Wesson add a ball detent lockup to the gun. The forcing cone area is reinforced as well, so this really makes this the strongest 686 Smith & Wesson's ever made. To top it off, we teamed up with Tyler Gunworks to reissue out the original bear hug style grips that were popular back in the 60s through the early 90s. These feature a nice palm swell, a speed loader cut, they're in fancy walnut, and these grips were inspired by Skeeter Skelton. So these were grips that were designed and used by people that actually use double action revolvers every day. They're super easy to shoot, they're very comfortable, and they look fantastic.
Folks, you might be looking at my next revolver acquisition right there, because I am in love with this new wheel gun. Thank you very much, Jason. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And this is just another large overall shot to give you an idea of the scope and size of the SHOT Show. And again, this is just one gigantic exhibit hall. There is another level below us. There are other halls in this building, and there's another entire gigantic building. So I'm now going from the Venetian Expo that you see here. This is one side of it, and this picture is probably not going to do it justice for its size, but I'm going across the bridge and into the Caesars Forum that is next door. And here is an overall shot from this exhibit hall in Caesars Forum. And the size of some of these displays really obstructs the view, so it's difficult to get a sense for how far it goes. That might help some when I look that way. But as I've indicated many times, this show is massive. All right, some things are just too fun to pass by without taking a quick video. How about a 10-shot detachable magazine fed AR style tactical crossbow with a 6-position adjustable AR-15 stock? This is just really cool, and I kind of want one. And SDS Arms is located in Caesars Forum, and right here is the full lineup of P35 handguns that SDS is offering under the Inglis brand name. Some of you might have seen the video from just a week or so ago where I was reviewing the L9A1, which they have right here. Next to it is a very nice version of the P35 with a satin nickel finish. And look at those grips. Nice pistol all the way around. And this one also has a fiber optic sight with a U-shaped rear sight, so very cool. They also have a more nicely blued version. This is a little more deluxe finish than we saw on the L9A1. There is no lanyard loop on this one. And probably the nicest one in the group as far as the appearance is concerned, they have a beautiful colored case hardened P35 in the line, and this one's a little too nice for me. That's why I wanted the standard L9A1 for a knockaround range type pistol, but that is beautifully finished. And I've said before, I am a sucker for case hardening. Everyone, this is Jared from SDS Arms to tell you about the new entry they have in their Mac pistol line, and I'm going to hand off the microphone to Jared.
I'm going to hold it with Hi everyone, this is Jared with SDS Arms. Howard, thank you for stopping by the booth. I had an excellent time chatting with you ahead of SHOT Show on that Saturday morning live stream, but I know you're here today at your first SHOT Show, and you've stopped by the booth to check out the new Mac 9 double stacks that have been updated for 2025 with a host of new features. So breaking down the pistol, first thing you're going to notice that we are doing a comped version in both our 4¼ inch and 5-inch models. So here we have our carry model. These guns will feature new controls that are going to be just slightly redefined, a little bit better contoured, so it's going to fit a wider variety of hands. We are going to be offering these with the new Agency Arms AOS system, so you're going to have aftermarket plates available for a wide variety of optic mounts, because it seems like this SHOT Show there's even more optic mounts that are available, so having that AOS system is going to be there. Slide lightning cuts are going to be really helpful in making the gun not only look a little bit better, but also aid in function, and you're going to have just an aggressive looking gun. Universal rails down below, so whether you're using a subcompact light or even a full-size light, that universal rail is going to be easy to attach to the light of your choice. And the best part about it is the prices are going to be lower than they were last year. So these new models are going to assume the price of about $1,049, and the non-comp versions will be available for $949.
So here is a mystery firearm at the SDS booth. There is no card like we have over here to identify this. It's branded as a Military Armament Corporation model. This appears to be the SA9 chambered for the 9mm. And I don't know anything about this other than it has some AR-ish style controls. It has AR style sights, an AR flash suppressor, but it is a 9mm pistol set up for a stock or a brace, depending on whether or not it's SBR'd. So very interesting. I'm gonna have to ask Jared about this one. So I'd bring it home, but there's always the possibility I might shoot my eye out. How about that? A Daisy Red Ryder